And I
Right.
love the idea of kind of repackaging your content that you preach on a Sunday and in using it online. So what else, like, how do you do that? You're probably ahead of the game. So you preach, what other things do you do with all that content throughout the week?
Yeah, so I love repackaging content. So one thing, like I'm in the middle of writing a book right now, and a lot of it is just from my sermon series in the past, which that's not new. I know a lot of people have done that. So that's one thing I'm passionate about. Another again is vlogs. So let's just say last week I talked a lot about grief. So let's say I come up with a story and I kind of I call it Yester Trey because my name's Trey. So I look at a story from my past and then maybe talk about a moment of grief that I had. So I just kind of journey through them with that. Like I'm taking the camera around, I'm talking to my wife, and then I show a clip, like a minute-long clip from my sermon that is the line, which I think my line was, larger belief does not lessen the grief. So just because you believe in Jesus, that actually doesn't mean it lessens your grief at all, but it does strengthen the hope. So that's the line. So now I'm going to find that clip, 30 seconds to a minute, that normally people just post to Instagram, which do that for sure and caption it. But also, how can you fold that in the middle of a grander story in vlog format on YouTube? And so then just kind of wrestling through that after. And so that's just, the story. So the story structure that I tell all my people in my course, there has to first start with attention. There has to be something that bothers people, something that they can identify with. Grief, everybody can identify with it. But how can I, in 15 to 30 seconds to a minute, make a really impressive video that describes the grief, either that I'm going through, that everybody goes through, and then leave that tension there. So I always tell people on YouTube, this is key. Grabbing a tension is what grabs attention. So you have to identify it right away. The worst thing, and I hate it, and so many people do on YouTube, they start out, hey guys, I'm Trey Van Camp. I'm here in Queen Creek, Arizona. I planted it. Nobody cares. Just jump into it, Hey guys, I hope you subscribe, hit the like. They would really help. No, stop it, right? People are already leaving. And so I tell my people, and I've actually recently, if you guys go to my channel, I did a live, I was analyzing one of my recent vlogs, and 70% retention is like the golden standard. Like if you can hit 70% retention, that's really impressive. And what you're doing, keep doing it. So I had a video recently that was like 74%. So I was like, okay, guys, let's dissect this. Why did I get 74% of people to watch all the way through, right? And so that's another thing. So many people from COVID, they just kept talking about like, look at all these numbers, and Facebook inflates them like crazy. 1 second counts as a view. YouTube, it's a lot harder to get a view. You got to go in the analytics. Just because people see it for 3 seconds doesn't mean they were impacted by your ministry, right? And so YouTube's even harder because Facebook, you can accidentally stumble upon it and it'll count as a view. YouTube, they don't count it until you click in there, and start watching it. But anyway, so we talk a lot about that. So I start out with tension, and then it's the intervention. So this is me as the character looking for ways to answer that problem that I've established in the beginning of the video. So a lot of times the intervention is wrong. Like I'm looking for an answer and I'm falling, like I'm failing. It's really important. There's a great book. I think it's called The Homiletical Plot by Eugene Green. It's about preaching, but it really works for video telling, for storytelling, because he says for too often we never share the process, we just share the answer. And I think for storytelling, it's the process. Will this work? Oh wait, it doesn't. Will this work? Oh wait, it doesn't. And a lot of sermons, they need to do that way. We preach in such a way where we don't struggle with the audience. We need to struggle with them and go, what is the world saying is the answer? Is there legitimacy to this? Let's dive into this. Let's dissect this. And so storytelling is tension, and then it's intervention. So it's you looking. So a lot of times it's me FaceTiming or Zooming somebody who's ahead of the journey for me. It's my sermon clips or whatever. And then it's an invitation. So somehow you end kind of bringing it around and saying, hey, join in this journey with me. You do this as well. Comment below. How are you going to try to implement that this week? Or like, hey, let's do a 21-day journey together where we do this every day, or whatever it is. And so those are actually how I set up my sermons, and it's how I set up my YouTube videos. And I think it's a really good structure. It keeps people engaged, and they know where you're going, but they also don't know how it's going to end, so they have to keep watching.